Welcome to my American History Notes, where I discuss conclusions I've drawn from studying American history, conclusions you might not agree with, you might even be offended by, but at least you should study and have your own conclusions. So I want to let you know, as I've said before, I have interstitial lung disease, so I might cough, and I have cats who might wander in front of back in front of me. So I don't tend to stop from doing that. So in any event, let's begin. We're in a very exciting time, getting closer to today's world. Started getting started late, so the sun's coming in the window. I like it sitting by the window, so try to deal with it. Okay, during 1990, critics of the first President Bush accused his ambassador to Iraq, April Glaspie, of giving the go-ahead to Saddam Hussein to invade Kuwait. However, reading the transcript versions of this meeting would lead one to believe that the statements made were the result of naivete or just diplomatic incompetence, or Hussein read more into them than was intended. And I'm going to post, my intention is to post a link to a montclair.edu site that has a transcript of this discussion. So you can read for yourself and see how Saddam Hussein might have misunderstood the American ambassador, American diplomat, or if you think the American diplomat was giving the go ahead. I just think it was, you set expectations by what you say and how you say it. I think it was very well, just maybe too vague what was said. In any event, whoever's correct, the fact is that Saddam Hussein invaded Kuwait with or without the U.S. diplomatic support and encouragement, and then allegedly massed troops on the border of Saudi Arabia and Kuwait, threatening the oil fields that the West depended on so much. Saddam thought of himself as Nebuchadnezzar and the great Muslim warrior Saladin reborn, or at least as their successor, and set himself up as an absolute Oriental despot, even having parades with soldiers dressed in ancient costumes to underscore his belief that he was restoring the glory of Babylon, according to Christian writers of the time. President Bush reacted with outrage and indignation. He strongly condemned the invasion of Kuwait and ordered economic sanctions against Baghdad. Then he looked for international support and participation, and this is where his knack for personal diplomacy paid off. An unprecedented alliance was formed by his efforts, and a total of 28 nations sent troops to the Gulf, with, of course, the United States being the most heavily represented by a long shot. Wealthy countries that did not have military to contribute committed billions of dollars to the fight against Saddam Hussein. The UN Security Council unanimously condemned the invasion, and in an unusual move, put a trade and military embargo on Iraq and authorized military force to stop ships entering or leaving Iraq-controlled waters. This was also unusual in that the UN authorized the use of force by sovereign nations whose military would not be under a UN flag. President Bush, in a masterful display of international diplomacy, managed to get the UN to authorize military action against Iraq if it did not exit Kuwait by January 15, 1991. The Soviet Union's Mikhail Gorbachev's cooperation in approving the invasion was important in these events, as he went against the former Soviet Iraq alliance. Saddam, clearly on the surface at least, faced an indignant world. So I'm going to also post a link to National Security Archives on the importance of Gorbachev's approval of what the United States was doing. And then we're going to continue talking about this event, Desert Shield, and going on from there. And hopefully you'll enjoy this, and I hope that you'll think about, you lived it. If you lived it, if you remember it, what were your opinions, and what do you think you've learned on your own? Okay, I look forward to talking to you, and I hope you have a great rest of your weekend.